So hello, Vinnie. Hello, everybody. My name is Jens Amail. I'm the CEO of the SNP Group, and I'm looking forward, Vinnie, to our discussion in the next 20, 30 minutes. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know it's taken a while to put this together, but I'm really excited about this. I'm big on automation and implementations, and you've obviously done wonders for a number of customers in the whole data conversion, the whole data migration area. So I'm looking forward to your presentation. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I joined SNP in January 2023 after more than 14 years with SAP in a series of global senior executive assignments. And prior to that, I was working for Siemens Enterprise Networks, most recently as the CEO of the US business. So I'm very excited about this assignment. I always wanted to work for a smaller company, and I feel very blessed that I can do this in the SAP ecosystem, where I can still keep in contact with all my friends from SAP, but also with everybody in our joint ecosystem. So Vinnie, we haven't spoken a lot about the content of this, but what I have with me are basically three topics. I would like to give you just a very quick 2-3 minutes high-level introduction to who we are as a company. Then I believe the second topic, based on my understanding, which is interesting for you in the audience, is how do we enable the innovations of SAP? So what is our role in the extended ecosystem? You mentioned automation, how we can contribute to a fast, efficient, and predictable migration to S4 and to RISE. And then at the end, if we still have enough time, maybe a quick outlook. What's our more mid and long-term strategy after all the S4 and RISE migrations are done? So if this makes sense for you, I would just jump right away into that.
Please do. Thank you.
Thank you. So first, maybe a quick perspective on us as a company. So we started pretty much exactly 30 years ago here in Heidelberg, which is less than 10 miles away from the SAP headquarters in Walldorf. Like many other companies in this area of Germany at the same time, as a pretty standard SAP system integration company, as an SAP services company. And our founder, Andreas Schneider-Neureiter, realized around 14, 15 years ago, when he did carve-out projects, when he did org unit consolidations, when he integrated new company codes, that there is a certain pattern on the data migration side. So he basically invented the category for software-based SAP data migrations. So in this category, we now have a market share globally of around 77%. Our software is fully audited by PwC and EY, and we are excited to work with SAP customers, but also with a very large ecosystem on their transformations, be it, again, M&As, carve-outs, org unit consolidations, move to the cloud, but also, of course, now the move to S4 and the move to RISE. So we get a lot of tailwind, obviously, out of this migration push from SAP. We have, in the meantime, more than 1,500 employees. We have a global presence in the 5 key regions of the world, in North America, in Latin America, in Central Europe, in the extended part of EMEA, and in Asia Pacific. We have a strong partner ecosystem. So 17 out of the top 20 SAP system integrators. You think of companies like IBM, like Accenture, like EY, like PwC. They do their data migrations based on our software. So we are very humbled by this endorsement from our ecosystem. In the meantime, we are a company with 203 million in revenue. So the first time in 2023, we were over 200 million in revenue, 37% growth in order entry. And we can look back to a track record of 15,000 successful data migration projects.
Impressive.
Thank you very much. And we are very excited. We had a Transformation World just 2 weeks ago here in Heidelberg. We have BMW on stage. They know us extremely well. Out of 4 big SAP migrations they already did with our software. We just concluded a framework agreement with them that they will do all future greenfield S4 migrations based on our software in a joint factory approach. And you see a few other customer names here. We have 3,000 customers globally. Most recent announcement include, for example, Lowe's services, TE Connectivity in the US, E.ON in Germany, and again, most recently, BMW. That's a quick snapshot of us as a company. The second topic I have with me is how do we enable RISE with SAP? Yeah, and since we had a brief chat about our some of the joint friends we have at the company at the beginning, so you know SAP extremely well, Vinnie, and you know that RISE and business AI and all the innovations of SAP, they basically need to be sold twice. Yeah, so first you need to convince the customer about the value of the SAP solution. And this is in most of the cases rather easy. So I was at Sapphire in Barcelona. I have not seen one single customer who is not hugely excited about RISE with SAP, yeah, and about the innovation potential and about the value for the business. Yeah. However, I must say I met quite a few customers, how should I say this, who are unsure, yeah, about the way to get there, yeah, how to get from A to B, what is the best approach here. And here we see a growing demand for what we do. Yeah, we see a growing demand for selective data migrations. The typical early adopters, we need the more simple migrations, they are already done. Right. So what we see now in the market are the more complex scenarios. More complex, but also then, of course, with a very high business impact after the migration. But the migration itself is more complex. Yeah? And this is, of course, right down out. Sorry.
Give a couple of examples of what you mean by complex, right? Because I'm sure the simple ones like you talk about are kind of as-is migration, maybe a little bit of tweaking of the from and to. Yeah. Talk about some of the complex ones you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's right. I mean, I could not have staged the question better. Yeah. So what we see in the market in terms of an existing infrastructure, an existing application landscape is categorized by this high degree of complexity I just mentioned. You see fragmented landscapes with multiple instances, sometimes outdated systems, sometimes even off maintenance. Customers are dealing with capacity constraints. They need to carve out certain businesses, certain regions. Think about China, Russia at the same time. And there's a huge fear of disrupting the operational business. With a standard migration approach, Vinnie, you need to have multiple projects in place, yeah, to address both the complexity I've just high-level described, but also to put in place what's needed for conversion to RISE. Yeah. So, and this is just one example of a project portfolio with a more standard migration approach. Yeah. You see customers have to deal with certain regional carve-outs based on regional instabilities. Again, the more classic examples at the moment are China and Russia. They need to upgrade all their instances to the latest enhancement pack. There are projects which need to be done to address customer vendor integration and data quality. We have many customers who need to implement new GL, which is a requirement for the next step, consolidation of instances, document split if you want to add additional business value, you name it. So you have a series of projects, and for all of them, it's better to end exactly at the end of the fiscal year. Yeah, that's a more standard approach when you look at the standard toolbooks. When you look at our approach, yeah, we can basically collapse, yeah, all of these individual projects into one phase. Yeah, and this drives a number of customer benefits. Yeah, obviously, as we have illustrated here, you have faster time to value, because you don't have to do pre-projects first, have to finish them at the end of the fiscal year, then you can start the next project. So you have a faster time to value. You have a high flexibility because with our approach, you can go live during any point in time of the fiscal year. You see a cost reduction. You mentioned the high degree of automation which we can offer with our software platform in a migration approach. Risk mitigation, I mentioned at the beginning already, our software is fully certified by EY and PwC, which makes sure, right, for a customer that the end result is exactly what they expect. Then the next...
The accounting, yes, the accounting firms, PW and Ernst & Young, do customers need to bring them in for their projects, or is it certified at your level? At the company?
It's certified on their level for our software. So it's basically our software is audited. So they tested our software, which was also a requirement for them to use our software for their internal migrations. So EY and PwC, they drink their own champagne. So they audited our software, and then they also use them for their own migrations. And the next topic is of super high relevance from my perspective, high user acceptance. And I just had a conversation the other day with Thomas Saueressig about that. We drive a high user acceptance because we can also migrate historical transactional data, which you can't do with a traditional brownfield approach, and of course not with a greenfield approach. But with our approach, you can really migrate historical transactional data, which makes the customer or the end user, I must say, believe that even they have the now new shiny RISE with SAP process environment with business AI, that the system was always there because they still can access historical transactional data. You only can do this with our approach. And lastly, minimum disruption. Again, high degree of automation, software-based. We can offer a near zero downtime approach. Take, for example, Coop. They had two huge systems with overall 64 terabyte, and we migrated them in one step with a downtime of less than 15 hours. So huge benefits with our approach on, again, the journey from A to B. So SAP is doing a fantastic job with innovations and business value with RISE with SAP and business AI. And we help customers to migrate from their current landscape into the new world very efficiently, very fast, with less risks and very, very predictable. So the question is, how do we achieve this? What is basically the secret sauce of our solution? And the core paradigm of what we're doing is that in our approach, we decouple the system modernization on a process level from the data migration. And this gives you maximum flexibility on both layers. We have a component of our platform called the Shell Creator. This allows you to create the target landscape, be it RISE, be it S4, be it independent of the infrastructure, being completely system agnostic. And then on the data layer, you get all the benefits I just have mentioned. So this decoupling allows you then to be very selective on the data side. You have a high flexibility regarding the go live date. You can migrate historical data, etc. And this is the only thing we do.
Let me ask you about custom code. You're more of a data conversion focus, right? When it comes to code, when it comes to testing and so on, do you have to bring other partners into play, or explain?
Yes. So first we have different components in our solution. We have an analysis phase in our data migration suite. We have an actual transform, i.e. migrate, which is what you have mentioned, component in our solution. But we also have a validate and a test component in our solution. If you allow me 5 minutes, Vinnie, I talk about how we integrate partners into this ecosystem.
Sure. Okay.
So what customers really appreciate is, again, that we don't do anything else. Yeah, we do this for a living, and we have experience out of 15,000, I mentioned it at the beginning, data migration projects. Yeah, and now the benefit of our approach is that we capture this experience in our software. Yeah, for example, in Mission Control, which offers a guided procedure for migration projects. Yeah, and this hardwiring of our experience of 15,000 projects, this now, of course, allows us to scale. Yeah, and to offer this automated approach also in a factory setup together with our customers and partners. Yeah, so for example, customers like E.ON, BMW, or Mahle, they educate their own people, yeah, also how to use our software. So when they do a simple carve out or they have a small acquisition, they can integrate this themselves. Yeah. Partners like Accenture, like All for One in Germany, Fujitsu in Japan, they have their people trained on our software. So when they do a data migration project, they only use our software and they deliver the services on top of that, even for the data migration piece themselves. And that's, of course, our strategic focus, Vinnie, as you know from Peter, that we really want to focus on the software part, yeah, and enable our ecosystem, the top 20 SAP system integrators and our big customers to scale based on our software. And now to your question around partners. Yeah, how do we partner in some of the areas we are not covering? That would be on the right side of the slide. So let me jump to this right away. So we have fully integrated, for example, CDQ and SmartShift into our solutions. So they are now part of our analysis portfolio. And again, they are fully integrated in our scan. CDQ for the data quality of business partners, yeah, and SmartShift, you know, apologies, you know them well, for the customizations, yeah, and Tricentis in the area of user acceptance testing. Yeah, so we step by step enrich our ecosystem of technology partners. That's what you see on the right side. And on the left side, and that's really, this makes me incredibly proud, yeah, and you should have been at Transformation World. I will send you a summary video with all the sponsors and the support we have received from the biggest companies in the world, yeah, from the biggest hyperscalers, from many of the technologies leaders, but also from the biggest SAP system integrators in the world, yeah. So companies, again, IBM and EY were the prime sponsors, yeah. Accenture was sponsoring that. And they, in the meantime, have fully integrated our BLUEFIELD approach, yeah, our software platform, into their offering. So I was making last year already the joke. Everybody remembers Intel Inside, the campaign out of the 90s. Yeah, and it's of course our, we don't want to, we are a small company, so by no means we don't want to compare ourselves with Intel. Yeah, but we are at a point where we feel very, very humbled. Yeah, that in IBM, for example, whenever they do a rapid move project, whenever they do a rapid move migration to S4 and to RISE, they do it based on our software. So, and to conclude that part, allow me to finish maybe with a little bit of a nerdy joke. Yeah, so we're very excited about RISE with SAP. Yeah, but with our solutions and with our capabilities, we're even more excited about RISE faster with SNP.
Nice.
So we are very excited about the tailwind we get, the tailwind through the ecosystem, the tailwind we get through stronger globalization of our company. So we're entering new markets like Brazil, Mexico, France, the Middle East, the Nordics. We are, of course, very excited by the tailwind we get from the fantastic innovations of SAP in RISE, Grow with SAP, Business AI. But we are also getting tailwind from some other dynamics in the market. Yeah, also this is then more mid and long term. Yeah, when you look at what's happening on a macro level in the market, there are two mega trends, which makes our solution more relevant. Yeah, on the one side, yeah, that's what you see on the left side. You see that market dynamics, yeah, and I mentioned a few of them at the beginning, yeah. Rising world population, regional conflicts, pandemics, hyperinflation, you name it. All these macroeconomical trends drive companies that they need to ramp up their capabilities to transform, because they need to transform much more often. Yeah, Bill McDermott said a few years ago, change has never happened that fast, and it will never happen that slowly again. So companies need to do much more often transformation than they had to do it in the past. One big German company, they bought our platform 12 years ago. They already did 260 data projects, migration projects based on our platform. Yeah, and the frequency, the transformation frequency gets higher and higher. Yeah, that's what you see here on the left side. On the right side, you see also a trend towards the composable enterprise, that not all data will be stored in SAP tables forever. Yeah, so this is also a trend which allows us then to extend the scope of our market category. So what we positioned at Transformation World is that we don't want to be only an enabler for single transformations, yeah, but we also want to make sure that we improve the ability for companies to transform, which means at the end of the day that we help them, yeah, from a data perspective to be more agile. Yeah. And apologies. And what we introduced is basically the enhancement of our current architecture. So that's our current architecture where you see the analysis suite, the migration suite, and the testing suite, yeah, for data migrations from SAP to SAP. Yeah, so we enhanced this setup, and we call it SNP Kiano, in four aspects. Yeah, we want to be much more ecosystem friendly. How we make it easy for SIs to work with our platform. We want to make it easier for companies like Tricentis, like SmartShift, like CTQ to integrate with our platform, number one. Number two, we will be more agnostic with regard to data sources and data targets. Yeah, in the first step, we exclusively focus on non-SAP to SAP. And we have exciting co-innovation partners in the US, where we currently migrate non-SAP systems into an S4 environment, which we have done in the past with partners. Yeah, and we now can do it ourselves with our new or enhanced platform. We will provide ongoing services, yeah, to measure, benchmark, and improve the data-enabled agility of businesses. And we have one solution called the SNP Agility Index. Yeah, we don't have enough time to talk about all the details here, what we can offer. And we will also, of course, more strongly leverage the potential of AI for our platform. Basically, what I wanted to share, Vinnie, with you at the end. I just wanted to underline the standing invitation you always have to our Transformation World event. You missed it.
I'm sorry, I missed it. It looks really exciting.
Yeah, you missed it. This year. We had 1,500 customers there. For the first time, we conducted all presentations in English because it's getting more and more an international event. So we're very excited about that. We had 89 registrations and colleagues joining from SAP. We had Thomas Sauer-Essig at our pre-event dinner. We had Jan Gilg conducting the keynote after my opening. We had customers like BMW on stage with us. So it was really a very inspiring event. And I hope you can join us next year. It will be on June 25, 26.
I'll be honored to. A couple of quick questions. I didn't see any grow with SAP mentioned. Are you mostly focused on bigger customers then?
Short answer would be yes. Yeah, so let me just stop maybe my stop share. Good.
Yeah, so no, that makes a lot of sense. And you have a tool that allows people to do a very, very complex stuff. Take advantage of it. Yeah. Smaller customers will not be.
But also in the SME space, right? So I mentioned All for One as a partner in Germany. They're exclusively focused on the SME space, yeah, and they have a lot of pro customers as well. Here specifically, yeah, time is money. Yeah, they don't have big IT departments. Yeah, they have a huge fear of a disruption in their operational business. Yeah, so they want a really near to zero downtime approach. Yeah, they appreciate the predictability of our approach. So in Germany, in our home market, we already have an ecosystem for the SME space. Yeah, and we view this as a big growth potential for us also in markets like the US and other mature SAP markets like, for example, France or the UK.
Well, this is really exciting. Thank you so much for sharing it.